Many Americans take the American dream for granted, but for those in other countries, just getting their green card in itself is indeed a big challenge, let alone getting a job in the US. Well, today's guest is going to tell us exactly how he helps individuals not only become truly extraordinary in their own right and get their EB-1A green card, but also land the perfect job in the USA. Stay tuned. MJ Wolfe here, and
welcome to the Wolfe Den.
So we've got Chloe modeling your product.
Yo, MJ, what's up, man?
Hey, MJ.
You are in the Wolfe Den.
So excited to be in the Wolfe Den.
Hosted by MJ Wolfe.
Hi, everyone, and welcome. Today, I'm pleased to bring you a man who has helped many achieve the dream of earning their EB-1A green card and landing a job in the United States. His name is Ranjeet Mudholkar, and he is a global executive and transformational coach who has served as CEO of Financial Planning Standards Board and who, at 24 years, had been the youngest director general and dean of one of the leading B schools in the world. Ranjeet, you are officially in the Wolfe Den. How you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Thanks for being here. And before we get started, like we always do, I want to give our viewers a peek just at you and who you are. So let's look at Ranjeet in today's Guest Glimpse. All right, great stuff there, Ranjeet. So tell me, for those who don't know, what exactly is an EB-1A green card and who should try for that?
Well, EB-1A green card is essentially a US-based talent-oriented green card, which allows non-citizens and potential immigrants who want to come and be in the United States to become residents and eventually become US citizens without any sponsor, relative, job, lottery. And sometimes we also need to have $1 million investment, which are essential requirements even to apply. Well, one should always try this because there are millions of people who want to come to the US, and at least they should attempt, because unlike, let's say, any other options, it is based on pure and absolute merit and talents. And there is almost no waiting period. One can actually get this in 15 days if applied in a proper manner.
Really, what kind of talents are we talking about?
Well, it could be talent in business. It could be talent in terms of your sciences. It could be arts. There are actors who have done it. There are scientists who have applied it. You could be a professional chef. You could be in any discipline of your expertise.
Okay, so they have to be an extraordinary talent. So why would someone try to be extraordinary and try to get this green card? Aren't there other options for them? I mean, why would someone want to work so hard to get the EB-1A if it's really difficult?
Well, difficult is a matter of perception. And there are other options, but as I said, they require sponsorship, relative, job, lottery, and $1 million investment. While this particular green card, you can apply in your own accord. You can simply fill up a form and send, go to FedEx or anywhere, just send them a document. And if they like you, they can give you a green card in 15 days. But more important than that is, why should one do it, is apart from being trying to be excellent in their field, is that for several countries, there is 15 to 20 years of waiting for professionals. In some cases, even it is 50 years. Now, given the situation, wouldn't it be good or nice to work hard, become the best version of yourself to fulfill your American dream, which will actually state, the green card actually states that, MJ Wolfe, a person of extraordinary ability. And there are over 500,000 people in the US who are on a work visas. Now, for them, this becomes a very extraordinary opportunity, I would say that actually.
Okay, now what are the pillars of someone really being a person of extraordinary ability?
While, it is not necessarily with reference to, the EB-1A green card, but I think it is more important that what makes one expert. Well, are you connected to the body of knowledge? So for example, if I say that I'm a finance expert, if there is a body of knowledge, it is always a set of establishments doing some kind of a research in your discipline. Are you connected with that? Are you aware of certain schools of thought in that particular field and who are the advocates? Suppose you're an actor, then there are certain schools of thought, you call it method acting and things like that. So are you connected with those schools of thought? You should be communicative and try reaching out to other experts in the subjects. Well, are you aware of legal aspects and laws pertaining to your field? Now, that is very, very important. And are you aware of certain media professionals, journalists who write? So these are ordinarily any 5 pillars which any successful professional that you will see, a CEO of a company or even who is not connected or calling themselves to be an expert. So these could be 5 pillars for, say, defining a pathway towards being an extraordinary.
Okay, great. So can we say if someone is a professional with, say, like 8 years of experience, of progressive experience, and 500 to 600 hours in your coaching program, and they really try with sincere effort, can they really make their EB-1A green card and be ready?
Well, to sharpen the saw, yes. And I would also like to say that I won't deny the 500 hours or 600 hours. But it's also equally important that what fundamental skills and qualifications are underlying and what is the essential currency for your application. That's very important here. Let me go back and say that in 1993, there was a professor of psychology at Florida State University called Anders Ericsson. And he did a very exhaustive research with some collaboration which described the role of deliberate practice by working under the guidance of a teacher or a coach. And there is a wonderful book by Malcolm Gladwell called Outliers, which we all know, and it popularized something called as a 10,000 hour rule. The rule goes like this, that if you really want to become an expert and extraordinary in your field, it takes 10,000 hours of intensive practice to mastery even complex skills. Now, if you have been, for example, you are saying that 8 years or 10 years of experience. Now, exactly, it would depend on what exactly have you done during that time. And yes, to brush up or to accelerate the last couple of laps towards the green card, this should definitely help to achieve the desired results.
Yeah, as an actor, I started a long time ago, but I did notice that when I look back at my history, I was a horrible actor. I thought I was an actor. I was horrible. And around the 10, 11 year mark, I noticed, even my agents noticed, I became just at a different level from putting in that time and that experience. So it's like the outlier said, it just takes that amount of time to reach that level of success. So in that regard, what is the time or threshold that one needs to apply for the EB-1A card once they're on this path to be an expert?
Well, I think I get hundreds of questions on this particular aspect that, okay, fine, to be an expert, it's a lifelong learning experience. It's not that if the moment you say you have arrived, you are not an expert, actually. I mean, it's for other people to say this. But having said that, what is to be an expert? I think for the purpose of green card, I would define it in a form of 3 metrics, actually. Now, let's say, for example, do you have 3 people whom you may know and who are ready to vouch for you? Because one of the important components of applying for a green card is, can you produce some kind of a testimonials or references or recommendations or opinions about you? If you have 3 people, first thing is that if you have 3 people who have worked with you and ready to offer you support. Second, do you have 3 people whom you may not have worked with but are ready to offer you support in your professional circuit because of certain professional regards towards you? And third, let's say, do you have 3 people whom you may not know personally, but they know you by virtue of your work? And can they prepare or are they offered to help you? You see, you need to prepare some kind of letters in a particular language, which you essentially say that, look, I have known MJ Wolfe for so many years and I have seen his work. While I may not know him personally, but I have known him through his caliber and talent, and I would vouch for him, and some other things that needs to be expressed. Now, if one could have those 3 matrices in proper order, I think one could safely say that one is EB-1A ready.
Okay, great. Now, moving on to a different subject, I've learned you have a connection with Monroe Institute. Now, this is the same institute that works with the CIA and some other large private corporations. Am I right?
Absolutely. Yes.
How can this help someone who's trying to get the EB-1A?
Well, we found some synergies with the Monroe Institute that has some programs that have helped several professionals and organizations to expand their potentials by going deeper into a subconscious level and understanding the consciousness and tapping into those subtle energies inside every human being actually to achieve excellence. And we are exploring using the same tools and techniques to help professionals become the best version of themselves by kind of applying those tools and techniques. Actually, I would say that.
Okay, yeah, well, the CIA is probably the best of the best, right? So let's move on now to today's subscriber question. Let's go ahead and listen in.
Hi Ranjeet, this is Ali from India. Thank you for taking my question. So I do not have a PhD or research background. Can I still qualify for EB-1A green card? Thank you.
Well, of course, you can. And I think this brings us to a very interesting aspect, because nowhere in the EB-1A regulation, unlike each and every other green card regulation, it does not say that it requires a PhD or any research background. For that matter, I would even go to an extent of saying that it does not even say that you need to have any education in that sense, because it is fundamentally based on a premises that even if one were to be stripped of one's qualifications, job, or even amount of money, wealth, anything, now what is the intrinsic merit that one has? Now, each one of us could apply based on our respective talents and merits, notwithstanding whatever qualifications that one may possess.
Okay, great. Well, before I let you go, I'm going to just talk to you about what someone has to do to contact you to get started with your program. Now, they can go through nextleagueprogram.com, right?
Yes.
And Mudholkar, your last name, .us. I'm going to put these links down below for anyone who wants to get started. And do you answer all your messages yourself, or?
Absolutely. I'm happy. And there is also a calendar link which we gave it to you. And I would be happy to kind of answer any question. And I'm on a mission to help maximum people to become the best version of themselves. And if there is something that I could be helpful to any number of people, I would be more than willing to do that. And I do answer all communications myself.
Okay, so it's obvious that Ranjeet knows what he's doing when it comes to the EB-1A. And if you want to be an extraordinary person and really take this next step, go through the Calendly link below, contact Ranjeet, set up a time with him, and he'll take the time to talk to you and help you get started if you really want to pursue this. So Ranjeet, thank you so much. You're officially released from the Wolfe Den. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
And have a great day. Thank you for having me here.
See ya.